We don't know because we think black people is real, some African country. All right, so now let's look at this. Treaty of Peace and Friendship as an example. Right? 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 Then you look at this. I'm keeping it simple. We can go into more details, but I'm keeping this kind of simple. Constitutional Convention, remember George Washington was appointed as president of the Constitutional Convention. Of course, you already know that he was an Army general under Arthur St. Clair when the treaty was signed. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Are we clear? So, if you don't know you and Moor, right, you can't enforce the Constitution. Why? Islam. Not only because of improper status, but that's true, but because without the nationality, the enforcement of this Constitution is by virtue of the sanctioning of the establishment of the United States by the Sultan of Morocco on Moorish dominions. And so when you're thinking Morocco only on that side, you don't know you in Maghreb al-Aqsa, Morocco the most extreme west, the great Masonic secret why that pyramid is there, then that makes you incompetent. And being an heir, logically you can't inherit, probably going around talking about you Smith. Are you seeing why the evidence in law of evidence, identity, etc.? So this establishes, for the record, the political record, a bond here, doesn't it? Doesn't it? And that's called what? This is why Drawley said what? You're part and parcel of this said government. And parcel is land. But it's also a responsibility for an estate, isn't it? So how are you going to have your house and you got to keep paying some foreigner, and soon as you don't pay him, he takes it and you so-called own it and pay for it? What point you don't understand that that's feudal law? Child would understand, of course, an adult would make them confused that you got to pay wrong.
Do you really have to have a deed though? Should you have a deed?
You can have a loyal title, but you can't have one in this status, can you? You can't even speak, can you?
No.
You see,
it's hard. It's a hard
no,
fight.
I'm giving you a clarity why this was even done. And I'm just trying to give you, in graphics a little bit of what's actually going on. Is that they're taking you from here and putting you over here. You don't belong over there. That's why they had to create names. You understand? To mark. That's why they call them marks or terms, because they're really not pedigree names. Just like I read the law book says a term color person. It's a term. It's not a pedigree name. It's a term. It designates chattel property. So when you walk in there on those terms, of course, don't even have any obligation legally to even acknowledge it. So automatically you're a ward of the state, and so logically they can impose lawyers on you, and they already sold you, they already got birthright. You see the whole point? So if you're thinking law and justice, your whole concept is wrong because you don't even understand the venue you're in. So you need to understand that the whole issue again is status. You see, that determines your capacity and your incapacities to exercise rights in relationship to third parties in the state. That's all I'm saying. So if you don't understand this, and they're operating over this, you don't even know that they're operating over here. You're just meeting with them, and they send you papers in the mail, and they send you stuff, and that's why you gotta challenge that and clarify it. If you don't, they keep dealing with you here, and you ain't even supposed to be there.
That's what's called ignorance in the eyes of the law.
Yes, ignorance of the law is no excuse. Why? Because the law comes from your forefathers. That's why I showed red customs. You understand what I'm saying? That's why they cut you off your bloodline, so that you can't bring into the common law. And when you call in common law, and you look at the term common law, they equate it with Constitution law. That means you're outside the Constitution. So if you're outside the Constitution, you're outside the protection of the foundation law supreme of the land. So that allows them to bring in those ministerial venues under war powers. In other words, they're waging war on you, right in your face. Or do you understand what I'm saying to you?
I'm just thinking. I'm thinking about how much they took.
Now, look.
How much they took. They took my building. They took the two-family house, and now they're trying to take the last property out. It's like, it's crazy.
It's not crazy. It's this.
You take it. You gave it.
See, stop. Look, let's back up. Let's back up.
They didn't take everything. You gave it to them.
Let's back up. And not really. They've been taking it under the guise that you give it. You understand? Unbeknownst to you, while you're looking at the houses and everything, they're looking at those are deeds. You're a tenant. If you pay attention to those deeds, they'll have you listed as tenant. A tenant is a renter. You're indentured. You ever heard of indenture servitude? Indentureship. You look at them deeds, they'll say indenture. You're beholden to a lord. That's why I read allodial. Now the Constitution is in harmony with allodial law. Now I want you taking out that thing I have on democracy versus republic, so you can get a concept and read that. So these are the subtleties on why you make these arguments. Don't take that these arguments are, well, what are you bringing that up for? We ain't talking about that. What we're talking about is this payment. Don't even go there. We're going to the foundation of this whole thing. This is the foundation of this is the foundation of the politics.
I will say I'm thankful because when I started learning more about our
yourself,
yes, and it had to be through Facebook of all places, but it's getting around. Someone did send me a format to send the bank. I was able to get the sheriff's cell vacated for that, but the deed is still in the bank's name.
But the deed is,
because the bank took it.
Let me say, they're dealing behind the deed, a deed of trust. That's why I put that reconveyance on the website.
Okay.
They got you arguing the house and the deed, and they're really selling the deed of trust. The reconveyance is designed for you making the declaration of taking control of it. Read it again. State of mind. See, you arguing one thing and they're really arguing another. You're being played.
Okay. Because they tried to come back this week and put more signs up, and I said, the sheriff's cell is vacated. This is my house again. And they're like, nope, the paper says this. But I said a lot of things to him. He didn't come there.
See, this is the whole deal. This is the whole deal. You want to create a loyal title. Study hard. Create a loyal title. Put it in trust. Put it in trust. You understand? And you got to remember, they're in problem. They're in a problem anyway. Because you're not national yet, officially. All right, because they got a 14th Amendment person, and they've made a judgment of really transfer the deed to you, and that's kind of a conflict, because now all of your documents probably prove that they're doing human trafficking. You can probably sue them in international court with their own instruments that they sent them.
Well, I found out doing some digging that the person whoever signed the HUD-1 because of these robo-signers misspelled my name. So whoever he or she did this.
But that's what they're doing because you're a ward. You have to stop. Let's back up. Respectfully, a ward of the state is property. Forget they're looking at you not like you're looking at yourself. You're looking at yourself with some modicum of dignity. You're property to them. And their interchange with you is accordingly with a show of pretended dignity for you. Are you clear? So don't go there.
Stop your feelings. Stop dealing with your feelings.
Take them emotions, stick them in the trash can. They're damaging and dangerous. Get real. Clean your status up.